Hello and welcome. And you know what? Today I think I'm going to actually put on the music a little early because I've got a little bit more to talk about than I usually do on the intro. I want to take a moment to effectively reintroduce myself and this series. I have had a bunch of people finding the channel by way of the RC600 designing an RC600 setup video that I did, which I'm very excited about because that's the kind of thing I want to be doing more of, and I do have more of that coming. This series is a little different. So approximately 22 weeks ago, I think, I lost my job, actually, and I decided, I kind of knew it was coming for quite a while, and I decided I wanted to make a go at being a full-time musician. So I am someone who came to music late and is not really sure what I'm doing yet in a lot of meaningful ways, and in other ways, I'm doing all right. But I created this series as a way to hold myself to account to make sure that every week that I perform, I'm learning something about my craft, that I take a lesson away every week, ideally, for a year or so, to ensure that I'm moving forward as a performer, as a small business owner. And that's something that's kind of why these videos pop up more frequently. One, because they just involve turning on the camera and a small amount of editing, but also because I'm holding myself to account to do this series. So if you are here for the instructional content, or you found this because you found another part of my channel, if you're a prospective booking agent or a venue, definitely check out my trailers on how I sound. This is a different series specifically aimed at friends and, honestly, to a larger extent, my own self, holding myself to account to become a better performer every week, and specifically to become a much better performer at the end of the year than I was at the beginning of the year, and learn some things about video editing along the way. So for folks who are here for, again, the instructional content, I do have actually probably 3 videos coming that are all kind of related, which is kind of why it's taking a little while to do that. One of them is I'm going to be doing a video on how I approach loops and designing loops in general, what kind of aesthetic I'm going for, etc. I haven't figured out exactly a title for it. And that will be a companion to future loop deep dives where I talk about how I break down various songs that I loop, and if you want to adapt it to your style or copy anything I'm doing, go forth and have fun with it. But I think that my plan is to first do a cover video of something that's kind of new to me that I'm working on, and then hopefully a high quality one that I can use for promotional material on its own right, then a loop deep dive paired with the how do I approach looping. And that's what's coming next. It's going to take a little bit longer. I did want to take a moment to address anyone who might be here who's wondering why this talk series is here and what it's for. And it is not the musings of someone who's been doing this forever, who's kind of had all the knocks. I'm taking those first knocks in real time right now. So that's why I'm capturing this in this way. And if you're interested in a series with someone who's got a lot more experience than me, my friend David Shanhun is doing a similar podcast series, slightly different cadence, or slightly different, I should say, time of the week, where he talks about having been a full-time musician for, quite a lot longer, some of the things he wished people talked to him about. So I'm going to just plug that over there too, because that's kind of a cool series, I think. I watch it. But for those of you who are here for the other stuff, from this point forward, I'm going to go to a title card, and then I'm going to start talking about what happened for me this week and what I took away from it, because that is the thing I'm holding myself to account to do. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to title card and my usual delivery. But if you are new here, welcome, say hi, and feel free to ask for a specific song if you know a song I do. If you want to see a loop deep dive, by all means, put one in there. And I will very likely take direction on which songs I do when. But I do want to do more of that educational content. So with that, let's hit the title card and switch back to what happened this week. So, for those who are still here, thank you. I know that was a longer intro than usual, and you're wondering why you were introduced again, but I knew there was likely newer eyes on this series, or I should say on my channel, than previously, and I wanted to provide some context in case anyone hit that. Basically, this was a really good week in terms of my financial goals. This was easily the best week of the year by like a country mile, and to some extent that ups and downs make sense. January was kind of was a bit of a wreck. It's been obviously very rainy out here, and so outdoor events have been washed out left, right, and center, and in general people are less likely to book. So and I of course started my calendar from a cold stop after my surgery. So the good news is my hand feels great. I sigh with relief every time. Played 3 gigs back to back for the first time since surgery, and it felt great. My fingertips always take a little bit of a beating on the acoustic guitar strings when I do that, but less than they used to because I'm holding the guitar a little more loosely, which I think is good. But yeah, I had a gig at the Ocean Ale House in San Francisco, which is really cute. It's a lovely neighborhood destination it's near Balboa Park. People from San Francisco could tell me what neighborhood it's from. I'm terrible at that, I'm sorry. But definitely a cool spot. Their venue was really founded with the idea of creating a space for music. So they actually have recently expanded into a neighboring, unit, or it was a business next door that sold or went out of business, and they bought that space. So they've expanded, knocked down a wall and expanded to make it bigger, and they've got a bigger stage there now. So a bit spongy for us live loopers who like to stand and play, but it was really kind of cool, and they have a sound system there, and it's great. It's a great spot. Love it. Absolutely love it there, and very grateful to be playing there. Got 3 more dates on the calendar already for playing there again, one each of the next 3 months. Then on Friday I was playing at the birthday party of someone who works at a place called Wishes and Wows, which is a entertainment event coordinating company, and I've played for her company once and for her twice, and it was a blast. It was a really, really fun night. People were really enjoying the music. There was an opportunity somewhere in the middle for me to do some dancing because everyone had to dance, although I'll note that not everyone did. But I'm game. Whatever. It was a lot of fun, and I had a great time. It was a great gig. Definitely enjoyed it. Had some people singing along by the end. It was a lot of fun. And then on Saturday I played at the Chocolate Stroll for Los Altos, which was cool. I mean, I always enjoy those. I get to see a lot of people, but kind of in 2s and 3s. It was like a slow trickle for the whole time, kind of playing on the street in Los Altos. But a good gig nonetheless. I had a couple times where people were requesting songs and dancing on the sidewalk in front of me, and that's better than a good day at the office, that's for sure. So so that's basically the week that was. The next gig that I'm doing, because I was also doing some rehearsing for this one, is the Rhythmic Tavern playing at Third Thursday, this Thursday, which is a outdoor event on California Avenue in Palo Alto, where we are going to be playing mostly love songs because it's the day after Valentine's Day. Go figure. Gonna be a lot of fun. I'm actually pretty excited about this because the band is very rich with diverse instrumental talent, I would say. We have a couple drummers, a couple bassists, everyone plays the guitar, everyone sings. So it's kind of a fun challenge as a band leader to figure out how to lay that all out. But I think I like where we landed at that, and we have another rehearsal tomorrow, and then we go. We're gonna try to do it. And it's gonna be fun. My first foray into trying to lead a band of any kind. We had a gig built in, which makes it easy, and it might be one and done, or we might decide that we really liked it and we want to do more. So that all is really fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And then later this week I have a couple more gigs at places I've played before. I'm not going to go into too much detail since it's been a long intro already. The other thing this week is really preparing for the videos that I mentioned in the intro. I have a script written for one of them. I'm actually trying to be thoughtful about scripts and what scenes there are. I'm thinking about what, I guess in this case, B-roll I'll have behind my, or examples I'll have as part of the video. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to dive into that. I do have a laptop issue that's making my laptop power down. I actually did it during the stream a little while ago. Apparently my battery is dead, so hopefully we're gonna replace that so I can do some recording and have it behave. And so the tip this week, or my sort of realization, is I'm calling this one gardening. It's also a bit of a reintroduction to those who know me or to those who are new to the channel. But is really this thing I'm discovering about where gigs come from as a, I would say probably true of most kinds of gig work, but certainly as a gigging musician, it's really interesting how random the kinds of things that I'm doing are. And specifically, I've done a lot of, I'd say, planting of seeds over the last few months, few years in some cases, and those seeds are starting to come to fruition. And it just when and where and how and what new seeds are sown, and all this stuff is, you have to kind of just roll with it. And this is such a different way of, I guess, working than I'm used to, that it just bears a little thinking about, that sometimes it's going to be up weeks and down weeks. Sometimes it's going to be, you reach out to venues and they don't respond. But then someone calls you out of the blue and says, we saw you at this other gig you did, and we want you for a private event. And I have a few events coming in on the calendar now as a result of these kinds of things. In fact, all 3 of the gigs this past week, to some extent or other, were things that were possible because of past gigs I did that led into them. For instance, I was watching a couple friends play at the Ocean Ale House, and that's how I got that gig series there. That's more normal and more ordinary, I think. But then, the Wishes and Wows is because I was playing music at a restaurant. It didn't really kind of work because outdoors where I was playing, it was usually too cold, even in July in this area, which is kind of weird. Just the way the shadows fall, I guess. And so it never really hit. But then they had me go to do a big neighborhood event for them. And that's where I met the person at Wishes and Wows, which is, that's been a very great connection as well. And, even, the strolls are the result of playing at the First Friday at Los Altos for many years now. I guess not many years, maybe 3 years. Let's say kind of since when things started to open up outdoors after COVID really kind of put us out of lockdown. But so there's this kind of idea of just I'm noticing that sometimes you're planting and sometimes you're harvesting, or you're benefiting from the work of past relationship building, and at those events you're also building the relationship. So it's kind of more akin to gardening. You don't know what seeds are going to germinate and where they're going to pop up, and where the next seed's going to come from. So it's kind of reflecting on where the gigs, which again went very well this week, came from. It's an interesting, I have been building this business, though I said I started 22 weeks ago. Really, I've been building it for 3-4 years now, and that's where the building really began. So with that, I know this has been a long one. I got to do some editing on this and hopefully get it out by the end of Monday as I record this. Probably be late for anyone on the East Coast for sure, but I'll do my best. And I hope you are all doing wonderful. I'm excited about the video content I have coming and the gigs I have coming, and I'm excited about not hurting when I play. These things are great, but I do hope you're doing well, and you take care of yourself. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for hanging out, and do say hello in the comments or just in general. And you have a good one. I'll talk to you next time.